All right. Well, for the assisted living fans out there, or just in general Tyler Perry fans, Miss Alretha Thomas or Miss Anastasia from Assisted Living on BET, which is returning this week, Wednesday night at 8:30, right before Sisters. I gotta say, Alretha, she surprised me with this book. She has written a book called The Truth About Gretchen, and she asked if I would read it and do a review on it. And I started it. I want to say, when was it? Yesterday was Sunday, so I want to say late Friday night I started, and then I finished up on Saturday because it was such a good book, and it's about a little over 330 pages, but it felt like opening a bag of Lay's chips. You know what they say about Lay's? I bet you can't eat just one. I felt the same way when it came to digesting the pages of this book, because from start to finish, it was a very, very descriptive book. Like, I felt like I was in the story. And just to kind of give you a little backstory of what the book is about, imagine dreaming about your own death, but you're a different person. Gretchen Holloway, in the final year of graduate school, appears to be sharing a body with the soul of a murdered football star. Trying to figure out if she is crazy, who can she trust? She joins forces with his sister, Regina Wilson, and they search for the killer. So this is like a murder mystery slash, reincarnation like story. And the best way I could describe it is because my mom loves to watch those, the Hallmark movie mysteries, Lifetime. What's that channel called? ID, like Fear Thy Neighbor, and, all these other killer mystery shows and whatnot. It felt like I was reading one of those, but at the same time, this could definitely become some sort of either made for TV or feature film. I could really see that happening. And it felt like the book itself was so well put together that it was like a script where, any writer or director can get their hands on it and say, I definitely see a movie here. And the most brilliant part about the story or the book itself is that each chapter is written from a different perspective. You have Gretchen, it'll say Gretchen at the top of the chapter, or Regina. So hey, this chapter is from the perspective of Gretchen. This chapter is from the perspective of Regina. Mind you, it was late Friday night when I first started reading, so I got through like maybe 3 or 4 chapters and I was kind of lost. But when I was wide awake the next day and knew what was going on, boom, it was easy to follow the beats of what the story was about. So just to give you a quick reminder here, today is actually the last day you can download the book for free on Amazon. Now, what I'm going to do in the comment section below, I was actually provided the links here so you can go directly to Amazon and download it for free. Or if you want to support Mrs. Thomas and her, book, do what I did. Aside from just a free download, I actually purchased a copy of the paperback because I'm more of a physical book kind of guy. But once I started reading the book online, I couldn't stop because it was that good. And look, I'm not just saying that to say it. My book should be in the mail. It should be here tomorrow, I think, since it's Columbus Day and mail really isn't running around here. So yeah, I should have my physical copy tomorrow, and you'll definitely see it when I get it, so you'll know. But I would recommend downloading the digital book today. I'll put up reminders on Twitter and Instagram as well. That way there's no excuse, and this video should be up by tonight as well. So it takes a couple minutes. Follow that link in the top comment. You know how I do when I have articles and whatnot. Go down to the comment section. I'll have it pinned at the top, the link to go directly to Amazon. You go to the Kindle edition for $0, download it, boom, there you go. Or like I said, if you want to support the author, make sure you purchase the physical copy of the book as well. But on top of that, there is a Facebook group for readers to actually come together and discuss the book. Since I've already read it, I'm part of the group. I think later today is when I'll post, some of my thoughts on it. But given the fact that, I'm a critic, I guess that's what people label me, somebody that reviews content, specifically the Tyler Perry stuff. And I try to come up, okay, like this person probably killed this person, or this person had an affair with this person. I have my notebook and whatnot. I think one of the most brilliant parts of this book, there are moments where Gretchen and Regina have their moments of teaming up, and there's like a little bullet point list in the book of a list of murder suspects or a list of different motivations, and as some suspects are crossed off the list, other characters are added to it as well. So trust me when I say this book is so good, you do not want to put it down. Now, what I'll do from here is I'll read some of the reviews that have come back from various readers of the project. Vicky of the Reading Cafe. The story is wrought with intrigue and mystery, but it is the emotion that makes it a page turner, which, in my humble opinion, makes Thomas a standout author. Let's see here. We have Tracy Burnett, author of the Sapiens series. Never a dull moment in the book, jam-packed with suspense and intrigue. Be careful though, this one will hit you in the feels when you least suspect. I can't recommend this one enough. You won't be disappointed. I gotta say, from my own experience, there were some moments where I kind of had to look over my shoulder because I was afraid somebody was behind me, because this book was so intense during certain moments where a character was in a situation where you really feared for their lives. So it was like, I gotta make sure nobody's looking at me funny, you know, like, is anybody here? And I'm in my room by myself. And there were literally moments where it felt like my heart was about to pound out of my chest because it was so many twists and turns. Okay, Doris H. Dancy, award-winning author. There are undeniable truths that Thomas unveils at the turning of each page. She pulls us into her world, and every moment, every demand, every mountain climbed by these characters is worth this reading experience. Yes, it felt like, you know, from my perspective, you know, being a 90s kid, like a murder mystery but Scooby-Doo, because there's a gang of characters who come. It's not just Gretchen and Regina, and I'm not spoiling anything. Trust and believe, I do not want to do that. But there are different characters who come into the fold where it's like at the beginning of the book, Regina and Gretchen have people close to them, specifically like their respective love interests. But as they delve deeper into the mystery, it's like those closest to them actually kind of back off. But then other characters from their lives come in to pull together to form this little mystery ink gang, if you will, in order to solve this particular mystery. And keep in mind, even though Robert is the victim of the murder, him potentially being Gretchen being the reincarnation of him, or at the very least his soul being connected to Gretchen. And as a result, there are moments where we kind of flash back to the night of the murder. So I think the word, if I remember correctly, is like transported, where Gretchen kind of has these visions or something where she kind of goes back in time to the night of the murder. And like I said, I don't want to spoil too much, but there are just enough twists and turns to have you going, I think I know who did it, but oh wow, okay, I didn't think of it from this perspective. So I will definitely say this book will not disappoint you. Like I said, I started Friday night, finished it Saturday. So overall, it took me about 5-ish hours because it was so good. I can't even say I put it down because I was reading it on my computer. So it was so good, I could not turn my computer off. So trust and believe, this was definitely worth the investment of the time, as well as the money for the physical copy. I might read it again in the near future once I actually have the physical book in my hand sometime tomorrow. But, you know, if this was turned into a film, you know, the lead character, Regina, I could see her being portrayed by Crystal Hazlett or Mignon, aka Fatima and or Danny from Tyler Perry's Sisters. And I encourage you, because one thing I rarely do is kind of fan cast, like, oh, I could see this actor portraying this character. After you've received the book, whether it's physical or online, after you've read it, maybe as you're reading it, do me a favor, kind of think to yourself, are there any notable actors, or Tyler Perry actors specifically, who do you think, you know, could play the role of this particular character? Who could play Gretchen? Who could play Robert? Who could play one of the other characters? Again, I don't want to say any other names aside from those three, because I want you to read the book for yourself. But aside from that, that's really all I have to say. And I really recommend this book. I would give it maybe a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Jeremy, why not a 5 out of 5? Because of one particular character. I was mad when I found out what happened to her. So, again, I'm not spoiling it. So, I will say, that's why I give it a 4.5 out of 5. But yes, please check out this book. Like I said, you can't beat free, right? You can't beat free. So, please go to Amazon today. Download it for free. And if you want to show even more support for the author, buy the physical copy too. But if you can't afford it, that's completely fine. But what I do want you to do, please promise me this. If you go download the book for free, go on Twitter, Instagram, just go on there and post it. Just type or, make a post saying the truth about Gretchen. Hey, check it out. This is a great book. Free promotion. It costs you maybe 5 minutes of your time. But it really does help out those who are creating and selling the product. And also, after you've read it, go on Amazon and leave a positive review. Leave an honest review. Let people know what you thought. So, thanks so much for tuning in. Thank you to Mrs. Thomas for pointing me in the direction of this book. This definitely was a nice treat. It really, really was. So, like I said before, I'll leave a link to the Amazon page where you can order the book in the comment section, as well as the Facebook group. Also, make sure you join that. Thanks so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Follow me on social media. Links are in the description box below. And of course, hit the bell icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post content on the channel.